Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mediak. And I'm just going to be honest right off the bat. I'm sorry. I'm sure I'm going to be a lot more annoying than usual because I actually practice a dying art in our culture called reading. And I am probably going to say, I know, go drop your booze or say I'm lame or whatever. But I'm probably going to say the quote in the book like 7,000 times today. So I'm just going to say I'm going to be very annoying. I guarantee it. So obviously, Frankenstein. We are reviewing the popular Guillermo del Toro movie that just dropped on Netflix and certain theaters. So stay tuned till after the review if you want to see some movie-related news, well, media-related news in general, and then other stuff that we watched, read, other things like that since last recording. And then also, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by Christmas, so go ahead and support that. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And then, as usual, Chandler, Skylar, Austin, then your boy Zach down here. Anyone want to say anything before we go into the recap? I would please don't have me do the recap this week.
I would really like to have a counter on this episode for how many times you say "so in the book" or reference the book. I would like to see a counter for that.
See, that would be really funny. However, that takes a lot of work that I definitely am not going to do. Sorry, I heard a noise. I thought my cat was still in the room. I thought I locked her in here, but we're good. We're chilling. Yeah. Who wants to go ahead and hit us with a recap of what's happening here? So the reason why I specifically ask not is because I'm trying to think of both the movie and the book. So I'm definitely going to mix something up at one point in it. So does someone want to take the burden off of my shoulders and be nice today?
Might be the most well equipped for this.
Me?
Yeah.
But
I can.
Okay, Skylar, let's go.
I was like, I can if you don't want to.
All right. So sorry, I heard like a knocking on the wall. So I think I moved, and then something started hitting the wall, and it was like a knocking. So I was like,
"There's a
somebody
rat
knocking on the wall." Yeah, sorry. So
rats.
We open up with this. Well, we don't know at the time, but it is Dr. Frankenstein, and he is like hurt, and a crew finds him because they're stuck in ice and they're trying to escape, and they take him on the ship, and he's being chased by this huge monster. And then the monster gets there, throws a couple men that attack him because the guys attacked Frankenstein first. So
hey, the creature, not Frankenstein.
Creature, sorry. That's okay.
In a different movie, I wouldn't have said that.
Then they attack the creature, and then he attacks back, but he only attacks the people who attacked him. And then he gets driven away, and Dr. Frankenstein gets put in the captain's quarters, and then they start asking, the crew captain starts asking like how all this happened, and then we hear Dr. Frankenstein's story about how he was a scientist who wanted to get into this school. We saw about his childhood and his connection with his mother and his father, and then we got to see his brother toward the end. We saw Dr. Frankenstein's mother die, and that kind of gave him the inspiration to become who he is, because he is certain that his dad didn't attempt to save his mom, and he kind of blamed his dad. So then he wanted to be better than his dad and kind of cheat death. And so then he continuously worked on trying to revive somebody from the dead and put good parts together and have it be a whole again. And then we're going to fast forward a lot because you see a lot of that happening. He meets I believe it's a wealthy person who ends up, is it his?
No, he was
niece?
dirt cheap. He just accidentally was able to get all of the money for
the funds.
Yeah. I'm kidding. That was a joke. He was rich.
That Frankenstein's brother is marrying. Is it the niece?
Yeah, it is the niece of the rich man.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So coincidental relationship there, and then the guy says he has one favor for Dr. Frankenstein, but he said he's going to mention it later. And then you find out whenever Dr. Frankenstein is able to put all these pieces together and kind of create a life from death, that the favor he wanted was for him to be the creature because he is dying. And he ends up dying because he tries to fight Dr. Frankenstein, and he falls down into a gigantic hole in the floor, and his body does not bounce.
Well, I think that honestly makes a little bit of sense because it was linoleum. I feel like that would have spread the like impact of it a little bit. I don't know. Sorry. keep going.
I'm fine with not justifying the not bounce.
In what situation would it bounce? Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
the
know.
impact.
I just didn't expect a plat like that, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe his legs would like move up a little bit, but
and then we find out that he then has to try and raise the creature, basically a full-grown creature with the mind of like a child, but it's also not the mind of a child. It just got reborn, so it needs to reestablish everything that it's learned that it used to know. And then we find out that he was like mistreating it. The creature was scared of him, and then it met his brother's wife, and she was nice to him, and then he liked her, but like in a romantic way, but not in a romantic way. At least in my opinion.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, keep going. Sorry, I don't want to.
fast forward, she dies because Dr. Frankenstein shoots her while she's trying to protect the creature. And then fast forward, he's able to learn. He learns from this old man. This is a really long summary, but this is a really long movie.
Yeah, it's a pretty
What
decent
happens?
Yeah.
And then there's this family that creature accidentally stumbles upon because he's trying to find some shelter because he gets attacked in the woods. And he stumbles into this family and he watches them and he kind of learns from their like little. So they have like a house here, then they have like a shed right here. And there's one wall that like kind of peeks from the shed into the house. And he's pretty much in that corner for a large amount of the movie. And then the family goes up to the woods to get wolves and kind of camp out for a little bit. And the old man is blind. And so Creature comes up to him and he befriends him. And then they start like kind of teaching each other, and Creature learns how to read, how to act. He learns some manners and some stuff like that. And then sadly, much later on, wolves come in and attack the old man, and Creature steps in and tries to kill as many wolves as he can to try and save his friend. And as the last wolf runs out the door, the family walks in, somehow doesn't see the wolf, and then they attack Creature because they think they did that to the old man, and he kind of like dies in the snow, and then comes. And then he tries to. Is the old man dead at this point?
Yeah, old man's very dead. He's like,
yeah, okay, I thought so. I thought
my
he
friend
died.
is dead. Everyone likes to kill people. Nothing is worth it, and I can't die.
Yeah, and then is it at this point that he starts to hunt down Victor to try and get him a friend or a companion, like another one of him? Yeah, a companion. Okay, and then tries to hunt down Victor. Finds him at his brother's wedding, where Elizabeth gets shot and then carried up, and then she dies in the cave. Victor then hunts Creature as he's like walking away into the snow, and it kind of leads them to where the movie started. And then Creature gets into the building, and then part 2 begins, and we hear Creature's story from the beginning to the end and the slight differences between then. And I kind of intermixed in the summary Creature and Dr. Frankenstein's parts because I mean it's essentially one whole story. But and then it ends with Dr. Frankenstein and Creature kind of reconnecting and kind of forgiving each other, and then Creature learning that he needs to learn how to live and not be so worried about not dying, and that Dr. Frankenstein is forgiven by Creature for creating and not being able to and not creating another one of him.
And the ship captain and Microcosm learned from their mistakes and the folly of chasing your dreams, and you decided to turn around instead of pushing forward.
Yes, after Creature.
Yeah.
Push them out.
Yes, I liked that. I liked that bit there.
Very,
go ahead.
Very long-winded summary for me. But
it's okay. You hit all the important details. This is a brand new movie. People either haven't seen the movie or probably needed a little bit of a refresher to be like, oh yeah, no, I get that. It's different. So I'm gonna speak entirely about like the script itself for a second. It's a really interesting and almost accurate adaptation of the book. There are things that I really would have done differently. Not in the aspect of I think it was poorly written, but like the parts that really stood out to me as being the most impressive parts of the book, I think that they didn't handle as well as I wanted them to. Again, I'm not saying it's bad. I just think it's different from how I wish I would have portrayed it. Specifically in the beginning, the prelude is great, but the story starts the second they get Dr. Frankenstein back to the ship, and he starts telling his story before the monster even like appears. So like, you go ahead, Austin.
No, I'm sorry, but that like fixes one of the issues that I had with it. I'm like, it makes the ship captain just like completely disregarding the safety and the people who just died on his ship. He's like, because this is a real damn good story.
Yeah. No, and then the funniest part, I actually have a problem with this in the book and also in the movie, that whenever he's like, what happened? And then Frankenstein's like, back when I was 4, and then he starts his entire life story. Like, do we really
like,
need
he's just trauma dumping on this guy, and he's talking about how he was like in love with his brother's fiance, and how he like had a weird. I mean, I was gonna say he had a weird relationship with his mom, but I mean, worse one with his dad.
It could have ended in a TLDR. I made that creature. At least in the movie, you could have been like, yes, that was mine. I created him. I think in the book it makes more sense because it's like. So there's a decent amount, like I'd say the skeleton of this movie is very similar to what the book is, but there is a decent amount that is very different. Like it wasn't Frankenstein chasing after the creature to get into the tundra in the book. It was Frankenstein escaping the creature and running away from it because he like trapped him and was forcing him to create a bride. And then eventually he just like escaped and started running away, and the creature was chasing after him. Also, Mia Goth's character isn't in the book at all, or if she is in the book, she's barely a character. That was kind of like my biggest problem. I felt like a lot of like Mia Goth's bits, not that it didn't make sense, but I felt like it wasn't as necessary. Especially her getting shot. I thought that was so stupid. If they did what my brain told me they were going to do whenever she got shot and turn her into the bride, I would have been like, this is a fucking horrible movie. I can't.
I thought that's what was going to happen. And I thought it was going to happen through like magic or something. Like the creature was just going to set her down. And then all of a sudden, like by the power of true love, she became a zombie. Or
I would have been so upset, bro.
Whatever.
I would have been so upset. And
that's weird.
Yeah, that would have been so bad.
They had the opportunity to do that to the uncle almost if his brain wasn't mush.
Yeah,
I thought that was going to be true too.
Also,
like, I thought that would happen for a reason.
The uncle just like, so I know Elizabeth exists in the book, but doesn't like have a character. Like, I don't even think she has any lines. The uncle is completely fan fiction. He is not a character that exists in the slightest. So I'm going to give praise a little bit to the movie. I'm going to give praise a lot to the movie. I'm saying specifically like a difference from the book that I thought was really good. They go like, and then my dad died, and then I had $1 million, and people really wanted me to see this idea that I'm creating a man. That's what happened in the book. I really enjoyed the scene of him pitching the idea to like the council and them being like, this is bad, and then him getting money through like different means. I think that is a really interesting, but also that like 45-minute section is completely made up and not in the book at all, which is fine. I'm not saying that's necessary. That's something I'm adding to it. The biggest change that I'm not super sure how I feel about, like I genuinely not sure if it's positive or negative, is that whenever the monster is created in the book, Victor goes to sleep. The monster then looks at his bedside. Victor wakes up, sees the monster, yells at it. Monster runs away at that scene. Monster then is gone for basically the entire book. Like acting as like essentially a ghost haunting, where he just kind of reappears every now and then, like dicking with Frankenstein. Like either he just sees like a glimpse of what he thinks is the monster, and then his like Elizabeth dies, and then Victor's like, I'm not certain it was because of the monster, but I know it was. I'm pretty confident it was, and that happens for like 3 years, and then eventually he finds the monster, confronts it, and is like, you're this beast, this ghost that's like messing with my life. Why are you doing this to me? And he like lashes at him, starts attacking him, and then the monster simply responds with a Shakespeare quote, the one that he says in in the house, like that he's reading, he's like Ozymandias, whatever. I fucking love that because the monster is barely in the book, and the first thing he says in the book is a Shakespeare quote. It fucking blew my mind as a kid. Not a kid, it was like 5 years ago, but like still that was wild to me. And I know, Austin, that you're confused about that. So he was angry at Victor for the sake of making him. He was like, you shouldn't. You know the scene in the movie. Also, okay, I'm gonna gather my thoughts real quick. Okay, the most accurate portion of this movie is the creature's telling of his story from whenever the castle explodes until when he goes searching for Victor Frankenstein. Perfect adaptation of the book. It is literally exactly what happens in Frankenstein's like backstory with that. Where was I going with this? I'm completely got lost. Someone help.
Okay, I had a question actually
ahead,
because
sorry, I remembered it. Whenever he went back to the castle and found out that Frankenstein built him, that was motivation enough for him to be like, I need you to fucking kill me or make me a friend. Like, and he was like, you shouldn't have ever done this.
I think that's fair, and that's like just motivation. Not that I have an issue with that, but because this is the first time I'm seeing this story is in this movie. And I really, really liked like the generational trauma type of theme that they had. And I thought that was awesome because they tied it in with like Frankenstein's dad, like treating him like shit because he had high expectations for him. And then he just became his dad.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I like that motivation better than just like, you created me, I hate you, you're a bad person. Totally. Like, I think this really cemented how messed up Dr. Frankenstein was and how he was really the bad guy. And
you're right. But I think that makes the end a little bit like, it's hard for the monster to be like, I forgive you as much whenever he's like literally tortured him.
He's done awful things and then tried to kill him like multiple times actually.
Yeah. And like, I think I remember whenever I was reading the book, I thought that the creature went too far because he like actually murders everyone in Frankenstein's life so that Frankenstein can only like exist to create a companion for the creature, which I guess like is fair. He came to the conclusion that the world is the worst place ever. Also, fucking biggest change. So I'm like 75% sure that Frankenstein is not Deadpool in the comics. Like I'm not in the comics, in the book. I'm pretty sure he can't heal. I'm pretty sure he's just like infinite living, if that makes sense. During the dynamite scene, I had a vague what?
Oh, sorry, you go on with the dynamite scene. That was going to be what I brought up.
I had a vague memory of that happening in the book, but like I'm pretty sure I would have remembered that very vividly if that happened in the book, you know? I'm like, that wasn't ever one of my takeaways. I always took it as like, he can't die of old age, therefore he wants someone to live with him. Like Frankenstein never wanted to like off himself. I mean, the monster never wanted to off himself in the book, to my knowledge. He just was like,
I thought it was cool.
I'm not saying it's not cool. I just don't think it makes as much sense, you know?
Yeah, I don't know how he heals.
Exactly, yeah. Because we see his fucking... there's just bone on his finger whenever he like in that one scene at the beginning. Like, how does that grow back? I don't like that.
Does he eat? Like, how does he have blood?
He does eat. It showed him eating the berries. But like, did he eat at all in the castle? I'm
not sure if he really eats much other than those berries.
The amount of food you'd have to consume to give your body the energy to regrow limbs is kind of insane.
Yeah, I don't think that's definitely the one change I like the least out of anything that they did in the book personally. I don't know if you guys like loved that or hated or whatever, but I was blah about it.
I think it's necessary to a degree because I think it shows how awful the creature's experience was. Like, not only does he have to like continue living completely alone, but he can't even have the release of death, which I can't remember. I wrote down the one quote. It was like, the one cure to loneliness for every man is like ending it or something like that, or death or something. Yeah, they really went hard with the quotes in this movie.
Well, a lot of them are just straight from the book, which really that felt so good.
Yeah, that must have been fun.
Why? But I can guillotine. Like, his head has to be able to be chopped off.
That's what G said too. She was like, "What if you cut off his head? Does it just like regrow from the stub, or like what happens?" Which is fair. Like they didn't even try that.
Get a friend.
What was that, Scott?
Might be an easy way to get a friend. Both sections grow.
It's like a worm. That was a fantastic point, dude. That was actually really fucking funny. All right. I was damn it. I was gonna say some other shit. Mia Goth opinions. Give me something related to her.
Her ending was weird, but I like the rest of her personally.
Her personality and character definitely were like interesting. I just like I couldn't see a justification for like necessarily adding her because she wasn't in the book. Her scenes kind of were just saying the moral of the movie to Dr. Frankenstein as it was happening necessarily. And again, I'm not saying it was bad. I just don't know if it was like a needed addition to the story, especially since it's 2.5 hours long.
I think she contributed a decent amount only because she was like the father figure that Victor had for Frankenstein. That's at least what that's the value I saw in her.
I like it.
I had no idea that she wasn't really part of the book. Like they fooled me with that.
Valid, yeah.
I really thought, speaking of the book, I knew this was like based off of that. Like what's that other movie they had like past year with the vampire Dracula? There's a Dracula book.
Oh, Nosferatu.
Nosferatu, yeah.
Not quite that. That's not exactly what I was thinking of. Not like the horror one. The one where he's on a boat and he goes overseas.
Oh, fucking hell. The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yeah. So...
Sorry. I'm sure it's a great movie. Right? It just is like a bastardization of objectively one of the best chapters of book I've ever read in my fucking life.
I don't know if it's really... I don't think we should give it that much credit.
No, I'm saying the chapter in Dracula.
Right.
Amazing.
I mean the movie.
Oh, okay.
The movie, maybe we shouldn't give that much credit.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, this one, I thought it sounded. It didn't really seem like a typical Hollywood film. I was getting lots of vibes like it was pulling from some source material. So, and they fooled me with the Mia girl, Elizabeth.
Her death is the very most evident. That's not in the book thing. You know, you're like you could tell what was written in there.
I have gripes with Oscar Isaac in that scene.
That scene is so fucking bad, like objectively bad. Like why? Come on, like, that was so bad.
And I also,
go ahead.
I'm like, what was the rationale in the book for him not making a companion for him? Because I thought in the movie it was a little bit flimsy in my mind.
It's as flimsy as the quote that he says to Frankenstein is almost the exact quote that he says to. Sorry, why do I keep doing that? I'm like the number one proprietor of you should call him the monster or the creature. But the quote that he says to the creature in the movie is almost exactly the quote that he says in the book, where he's like, I've done this once and I understand like the terror of my ways. Now you've tortured me for 3 years or something like that. I'm not going to create another one of you or something like that. He just understands that he shouldn't create life or toil with this kind of thing anymore.
That's fair. I think my part that I didn't like was the whole procreation type.
Oh
of
yeah, I forgot about that.
Stuck on that.
That's not in the book.
I'm like, okay, cool. Because I'm like, dude, you're assembling the human being. Like, don't put a fucking uterus in it or something. Like, don't give it the ability to procreate. That's like, it'd be harder to give it the ability to procreate. Like that. I don't know. I thought that was what like Frankenstein kind of emphasized in the movie.
He did.
And maybe I just took away.
No, you're right actually, because like I do remember thinking like this is really weird. I just didn't write it down because I was so hard focused on like comparing it to the book that I didn't even think about that for some reason. I just was like, maybe that's a reason.
That's why we're here, and you're not just talking about it alone.
Yeah.
Isn't it a little weird that there's a Bride movie coming out early next year?
Yeah, I was actually with Christian Bale in it too. Like, I don't know how to feel about that one. Like, I watched the trailer for it and I was like, what the fuck? Like, modern day Frankenstein kind of. And I don't know, man. I feel like the maker of that movie saw that Guillermo del Toro was like working on this really artsy flick, and they're like, we need to get something out to live on that hype a little bit.
Capitalize on it. Yeah, seriously.
What do you guys think about the set design on this movie? Guillermo del Toro always goes into an interesting category whenever he makes movies like that. I'm trying to avoid my opinion on it, but how do you guys feel about the way that this movie looked?
I liked it.
There we go. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like I thought it had a good vibe.
It was awesome,
I thought there were a handful of times where I was like really kind of not put back in a bad way, but like I was like, oh, I know Zach would like this scene. And that's usually the voice in my head that says, oh, this is shot well.
Interesting. That's really funny the way that you said that. Whenever you said put back, I thought you were gonna mention like the like obvious green screen bits or like some of the very not the best CG.
Like the Angel of Death thing, I feel like is What's your opinion on that?
I don't like
everyone's. I thought it was cool.
If it didn't look like shit, yeah.
It's a Netflix movie.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like, I get it. I understand the interpretation. I think that's like a fun way to show like that's his Foley, or like that's what driven him into that. Especially knowing like Guillermo del Toro and where his mindset is. Like he I don't know if you watched the video that Mom sent us, Austin, but like he was exercise, like his grandma had him exercise because he was drawing pictures of Frankenstein as a kid and stuff like that. So like the religious aspect of this character is big to him. So seeing that the interpretation that someone like appeared in his dream, whether it be like a devil or a bad angel or whatever, to do that is a fun interpretation of it, I should say. Long-winded way to say that.
I think it's a good, I don't know. I think it's a good addition for Frankenstein's character because and that's the same thing that goes for the Mia Goth stuff, is that I think this movie was really focused on showing the evil side of Dr. Frankenstein. And I think part of that is having the motivation being like divine providence for like needing to be something greater than what he is and having that arrogance about him.
Sure, but I feel like having like a divine intervention kind of tell him to do this thing kind of goes against my idea of Frankenstein, who is this like Redditor atheist who believes that he's better than everyone else and wants to create like something apart from God, not be like kind of enticed by the evil side of the religion that he hates so much. You know, I like the idea of human folly, not like religious interpretation, if that makes sense.
No, actually, that's a really good point. I didn't think about that.
Opinions from the top up there. Talking about Skylar and Chan.
Chan.
Skylar's like, I don't have anything on here.
I really don't. Like, yeah.
That's valid.
I feel like me and Zach have been yapping a lot.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like 90% of the podcast, I'm looking at Skylar, and he's just like, like looking at us.
Listening.
Talk about it. Talk about the movie, Skylar.
Okay.
He's like, well, I guess I have to on this movie podcast.
So I do really like the change because, again, this is my first experience with like an intelligent Frankenstein and not just like not the brainless beast, but essentially brainless beast that just like kind of roams around.
The zombie. I
really liked that. And with the sets, I really liked how like in depth they were. He really played into like the dungeon and like grimy dark vibe with it a lot. And some of the CG was really bad, especially with the fire and like some of the explosions. But there were also like some parts where I think it was like interesting to see. And like sometimes it wasn't the worst. Like I would have like as Austin was saying with that like angel appearing in his dream, that's like something I would never even thought of happening. And that was pretty cool to see despite it not looking that good. Right. But yeah, and then what else did I write down? It's also kind of nuts to me how even despite how like the creature was like raised and tortured and how like in like ridiculously gentle he was with everything. Like even from the beginning of the movie, he could have retaliated back so many times. He stayed in his chains just by being able to break out at any time and run away.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was kind of like impressive. I don't know. It kind of like reminds me of the one quote. I forget who said it, but I think it was his brother. And it was like, of all the pieces you reassemble, which one carries the soul? Like that one was kind of like unique. And it kind of like, it made me think. I was like, okay, realistically, if I'm assuming all of this can happen, which one do I think would actually carry the personality? And I was like, I'd have to assume it's the brain. But like, at the same time, I mean, It could be anything. I guess. I feel like it should be the brain, but
they talked about it
could be the energy within the body.
The dad, like in one of his lessons at the beginning, he talked about like he asked his son something along the lines of like which one holds the soul or something like that, and the son was like none of them, or like the part that like controls the body is blood vessels and like pumping or something like that, and the dad's like correct. So there's no part of the human body that contains the soul or something, which I enjoyed that part of it too. Real quick, the thing, Skylar, sorry, something happened over there on the right, and I got really worried because of last episode. You guys understand the PTSD of having to re-record things. I was like, oh, I don't want to deal with that again. kind of threw me off of my track there. Oh, okay. Skylar, in what he was saying, jogged my memory a little bit in the aspect of why I didn't like how the monster didn't run away immediately was because I mentioned it earlier, but the big reveal that the monster is intelligent, like we see nothing for about like 100 pages, maybe more in the book of the monster at all. And then the first thing we see of him, he's like this insanely intelligent beast person. And I really needed convincing at the beginning of the movie whenever he was like screaming like a bear and saying like, bring him to me. I was like, it's not that it's bad. I don't want to say it's bad. It just is like my favorite part of the book was the reveal of his intelligence. And the beginning, what?
Sorry, I'm like that was my favorite part of this movie too.
The reveal of his intelligence? Like whenever he walked in and said,
I thought that,
my master told you the story or whatever. I did like that. That was great. I love that.
And that, like,
go ahead.
Well, I think it is really cool because it shows how unreliable of a narrator. And I'm going between on my opinion on this.
There's something I want to say too. That's really, I think it's going to be almost exactly what you're saying. Keep going.
Okay. The Victor Elizabeth thing, whenever like he was leaving him, I thought that was like cool and clever. And I also thought it was funny how he said it. Like he was like, Victor Elizabeth.
Yeah, I love the way you said that, bro. I wrote that down as possibly one of my funniest scenes, just because of the way that Jacob said it. It was peak.
Yeah. I did the little like eye raising emoji.
Yeah, the rock stare.
The rock.
But I like that because like on one hand, it really shows how much Victor's a really shitty person and doesn't care about the creature.
Yeah.
But on the other hand of like him being on the ship and telling the story, I would have preferred him like saying the creature had never said anything other than Victor and just lie and then the creature like coming up and saying like showing his intelligence like would be even more impactful. But I mean,
it wouldn't make sense because he's supposed to be the developed version of Dr. Frankenstein that he like recognized his hubris or something. So he wouldn't have lied.
That's true. That's a good point. But I mean, regardless, I was expecting him to be like an untrustworthy narrator, and then all we've ever heard was the monster saying Victor, and then at that point I was like, oh shit, he's dropping bars.
So the other part of this interpretation I did like a lot was that it showed that the monster was learning even though he wasn't saying words. So like it just was Victor not understanding that the monster was learning in a different interpretation, which led to like, if they did the reveal the way that they did it in the book, I think that the way that they built up the character would have been equally as good. I just really wish it sounds really fucking stupid, but I want a Frankenstein reboot where they do that in that way. I'm sorry, it's so stupid, but like
make the movie, man.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like I'm kind of happy they didn't do what I wanted to do because now I have the opportunity to go do it myself, which is pretty cool. If that opportunity ever arises, you never know. Go ahead, Scott. Yeah,
I'd like to go back to Austin's one point. How him being like an unworthy narrator. I think it would have been really cool if in Frankenstein's story he was like telling his thoughts throughout like the moment instead of him saying Victor. Like the entire time he's like, do that one more time and I'm breaking out of here or something like that. It would have been so cool to see like the entire time he was actually thinking. He was just trying to spite Victor like the entire time. That would have been really, really cool to see. And I didn't even think about that until you said that. It would imagine if he was talking the entire time and Victor just lied. Like that would have been really cool. I think it really would have been cool to see like the because he did have that like huge spike in intelligence, kind of.
It was after several months of him like sitting and watching. Sorry, they didn't give that context in the movie. I should have said that. My bad. Keep going.
Can I ask one question that's kind of on that? Yeah. How did he learn to read? Like, you're talking about the spike of intelligence. Like,
because the cards had stuff on it. And
shut up. What, you have the cards for every word in the Bible, man. I've read for my entire life. And
no, that's valid.
Guarantee you I couldn't read every word in the Bible.
That's valid, yeah. Never mind.
No, but I thought that was like, sorry, go on.
Or maybe he like said never mind. I'm reaching too much. Keep going.
The older dude was blind. He couldn't help him read.
Yeah.
But I think it would have been cool to see, like, because he definitely wouldn't be able to form like full sentences at that point, but he might know like words. So he might have been like, in the moment, he might have just been like angry, and like knowing like a couple things here and there, because we saw Victor was trying to teach him words. So I imagine he was actually smart enough to know what they meant, because he knew not to break certain things, and he knew certain things wouldn't hurt him. Just from like with the leaf, for example, he knew to be super gentle with the leaf, and he saw like the flow of water, so he like was able to figure out that like putting the leaf on would make it go down. And then he started putting things down the little tunnel that he had. I don't get why that was.
It was a poop tunnel.
There. You know what that was for? Being so serious, I was like, that just.
Nope, that's like the poop and pee tunnel. That's where all that goes.
That makes a lot of sense.
The way Skylar was like,
why would we touch that water?
Crap. I was gonna say. Oh, I agree though. I think it would have been interesting to have Jacob Elordi's like thoughts of that moment. However, I think in this interpretation, they're trying to show that like before the building exploded, that's like toddler brain. Because later on in the movie, they showed that he just doesn't remember any of that, like at all. Because he said that he had to go back there to even get like a glimpse of his memory. Because the old man was telling him that he was like a much older man than he actually was, and that he just went through something traumatic and forgot it. But in reality, he just was literally born a couple months ago. So I kind of cool. I like what you said, but I don't know if it would have worked necessarily in this interpretation. I would love to see that. I'm going to put that in my version.
I was going to actually talk about that too, Sky. I think it makes sense that he was only saying one words, because like that's literally all he knew. But in the retelling, I would have liked if we saw, or maybe like from Victor's perspective, we didn't see him being as much of an ass to Frankenstein. I think that's definitely important to know, but maybe we saw more of that from Frankenstein's perspective. I think that could have meant something too.
Oh, I like that. I'll also use that in my adaptation. Because like I don't hate that the monster stayed with Frankenstein for a period of time, because like we were talking about, it like builds up this deeper motivation for this monster, and also it shows the generational trauma. And I really enjoyed the scene where Frankenstein just like moved closer to him, and he like backed away, and he goes, "You're scared of me? Why would you be scared of me? I'm taking care of you." Like he's very clearly not aware of the fact that he is this terrible beast in front of the thing that he created and is torturing. I quite enjoyed that scene. So like, I don't know. Go ahead.
Or whenever he brought back what his dad used to do, and he grabbed the stick and he was like, leg, and then kept hitting him, leg. Yeah. Yeah.
It was good stuff. Well, what's not good? It's very much not. It's not good stuff.
It's abusive stuff, actually.
It's terrible stuff. It's horrible stuff. But it's written well. In my notes I said Frankenstein runs away in the book, different but good.
We take those.
Yes, we do take this. We take this. Okay. Wow, we've been talking a lot more than I thought we were. Go ahead. Yeah.
I haven't read a single note.
I want to talk about the uncle again one more time. Like, I know you said that he was fictional, which makes a lot of things make sense now. Because I feel like his death and the aftermath had nothing to do with the movie. Like, he told his brother, like, "Oh, you can't say anything to his niece, this and that." You know, did anything actually happen from that? Like, I feel like that was pointless.
I also wrote that down too. I was like, you can tell that this was not in the book. Because like, where did it lead? It didn't have anything to do with any of their motivations. It literally just was the sake of getting them out of the castle, which like, it to me is a little dumb because you could not a little dumb. It's very dumb because you could just leave. He could have just left the body there. Nothing would have happened. William would have never known. He didn't have to show him at all. It just was unnecessary. I felt like.
Well, it might have been like a guilt thing.
Wait, you guys both said stuff at the same time. Skylar, go first.
Yeah, Sky, you first.
Okay, majority rule. I think it was like, obviously I think he knew that he didn't have to, but I think it was like a guilt thing, and he was like already with all the stress of creature, and then he's like this on top of it. He's like, I need to give you a good reason to leave. Like, you need to leave. A lot going on. You need to get out. But I do agree. It literally led nowhere. Like, he could have not been in the movie, and he could have never came back, and him be like, okay, I'll ask you for a favor later. And then he could have died before he got to ask the favor, and it's still the same movie.
Well, I mean, and the most impactful part of him dying is the fact that he is the uncle to Mia Goth, who never finds out that he dies at all in the movie, which is a little weird to me. Like, I mean, obviously she's going to be upset at him for killing, she thinks killing the creature, but I feel like she has much more validity in being upset over a murder that happens, or a possible murder that happens, or at very least a cover up. So I think that would have raised her anger, or like justified it a little bit more to me if she found out at some point, because like I understand that she would be upset about him creating life and then immediately taking it, but I felt like she was too mad or too instantly in love with the creature.
It was the love of her life, like, of course.
Which was really weird.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Would you fall in love with an undead Jacob Elordi? Like, come on.
I don't like it, dude. It's the same reason I didn't like it.
Weird.
It's super weird.
That's a really good point. Like, if I'm in her spot, like, maybe he is like 6'5".
Yeah, I was just about to say he's so tall, bro. He's so tall.
He's tall. He's jacked.
He's pretty muscular too.
Yeah, and, I mean, his jawline. You saw that in the movie. That scene where he went Elizabeth, and like it was like it literally shined down his chin. I was like, "Fuck, dude."
The Rock bald and long hair and short hair, so like anything you do, it like looks good. So, like,
he does have drip. He does have drip.
I'm saying I get it.
I get it. No, I get it, dude. I get it. I would have fallen in love with Jacob Elordi too. Yeah, I get it.
Peg leg Dr. Frankenstein.
Skinny little William, giant Jacob Elordi. I think that out of the three guys, there's a very obvious pick.
And he's the nicest one.
He is the nicest. You know what? William's pretty nice too. He's just as lame.
Well, yeah, except he was kind of like, he's like hid a lot of his feelings like the entire time.
Because he's lame.
But like the creature didn't. Creature was just him the entire time. Just nice guy, honest, through.
Yeah. He even hugged the wolves.
He did, yeah.
Really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick, does anyone have anything burning before we get to the three scenes that we're going to talk about?
Certainly does.
Chandler certainly
does. I was going to actually say something, yes.
Yeah, let's see it, yeah.
Back to the uncle.
Back to Unc.
Similar, yeah, around that part. Why did... Like, Victor's like the worst brother of all time. Not only just the worst father. Maybe. That's debatable. Actually, no, it's not. He tried killing his son. Why'd he put the uncle's death on his brother and be like, you got to figure out what to say to Mia?
It's because he's a terrible person. He's like the epitome of the worst of humanity. He just is like, this isn't my fault. You have to figure this out.
Yeah. He's like, hey, I did this. You
figure it out.
You gotta figure this out. Yeah, that's
now you gotta get out of my house so I can burn it all down.
What a dickhead.
Yeah.
What a dickhead.
Yeah, I like to jump onto that too. Oh, sorry. You can go ahead, Zach.
You know, like, Skylar, I don't know if I like the excuse that she just got a vibe that something bad was going to happen.
I just don't like Mia Goth's character in this movie all that much.
I mean,
I'm not the biggest fan.
He was rushing them out. You saw him chained up. Maybe you can connect to it.
And he did say, how long is the lifespan? And he goes, short, very short, which like, that was like, oh, he's going to kill him right now.
It was pretty clear.
Yeah, he was very obvious with it.
I think they only added some of those parts because she needed a bad vibe.
I agree. Again, that didn't happen in the book, so like it's kind of like fan fiction-y, and I wasn't in love.
If she didn't need to say I have a bad vibe, he might have been like, I don't know.
I like that he
didn't
lost
get- I
his
didn't
leg
get
though.
this
I
far.
enjoyed that a lot. I felt like it was necessary.
What part?
Him losing a leg.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree.
That was actually
It was
crazy
gross.
explosion.
Yeah.
Because normally in most movies you see explosion, they just like fall back. But he was tossing and turning, his leg got
I
That
like
was-
the
that was
accuracy
gross.
of it a lot, actually. I thought that was
I do and
really
I
good.
don't.
Oh,
Why
like,
was
see?
it necessary?
didn't have wait. What do you think about that eye scene during the Frankenstein bit?
Yeah, I'll bring that up later.
Can I say that?
I don't think it added anything, Austin, but like in my idea of someone driving themselves insane, they need a little bit of a limp. I think that's
Okay, yeah,
that's necessary.
I didn't know that. I was thinking the same thing, but I was like, I didn't know if I was missing something.
No,
And
that's literally it. That is the extent of my enjoyment of it. I do actually want to say something. You know what? I'm gonna hold it. I'll say it later. Okay. Anything else before we get into our favorite, least favorite, and funniest?
Yes.
No,
One more thing. I have one more thing that I don't know if I want to say during.
Just
that
go first
part.
then. Just go first and use that as
I
like a
was gonna say I should
transition.
go first because Chandler already said what my least favorite is.
All right. Okay. Skylar goes first, and then Chandler. You could say 4 things, possibly 3, depending if you're going to use that scene as your thing.
Okay.
All right, so obviously my least favorite was legitimately anything with the eyes. There was like an odd amount of eye
He was
scenes in
holding
this.
the entire ball while putting it into the head.
Yeah, so that was one. The the dynamite explosion. You got to see it like it carved out and like kind of
Yeah.
like regrow. That was pretty gross.
I
Yeah.
actually like that. I thought it was really well done.
Me too.
Well, you're wrong.
well, you're not talking right now, Zach.
Yeah, you're right. My
Yeah.
bad. Sorry.
And like there was like some other. I don't think there was really any other eye injuries besides those scenes, but like the holding it was really, really gross. And I really didn't like the eye explosion either. So those were definitely my least favorite. And it's not because it looked bad; it's just because it was an eye.
Mhm.
It was just yucky, you know.
It was
an
yucky.
odd amount of yucky
Yucky.
scenes in this. You know, they're a little gory that I didn't expect. So I'll kick it to my funniest, and I think it was like there was an odd amount of funny scenes in this. For how serious this movie was, there was like a lot that was like the one I'm going to use for example. So Victor makes Creature mad, and he gets the pole and he bends it and breaks it. Like not breaks it, but he bends it like into a complete circle, and Victor goes and then runs. Really funny. Like
fucked up.
scared shitless in this movie from what he created, and he knows how strong it is, and he keeps fucking with it, and he's like thinking it's not going to get angry at some point, and like so stuff like that. Like I found like really really funny, and then like a couple times with like are they even called cadavers at that point? Like the dead bodies.
Yeah.
But like the one whenever he was like, I don't like that he was butt naked in this scene, but I mean it kind of adds to it. But he's like,
I was gonna say, I
butt naked,
liked it,
and he went, and,
Oh,
like
yeah.
pulled it out and he went like straight back down into like that. Like I thought that was like I thought that was just kind of funny because it was like up and moving and it felt like right back into place, like it was like an animatronic. Shout out Five Nights at Freddy's. But like just stuff like that was funny. It wasn't like anything like said or any like joke thrown in. It was like a reaction to something that happened that like obviously it was well done on the actor, like not recognize and not realizing it could happen or having like a breakthrough and then an unexpected thing.
In
Like,
the
a lot-
shower too, I really liked that. I was like, that's relatable. I think of all my good ideas in the shower. Or bathing or whatever. He was in the tub. Same thing. It's the shower equivalent.
And then my favorite, so there are like a lot of like really, really good scenes in this movie, but the one that sticks out to me is just like the creature like with the moon behind him, like in the snow. It just looks so good.
The shot is amazing. It's so
I'm
good.
sorry, Austin. That looks like I claimed, but I don't. Just your face. Okay.
This
I'm
is
glad.
the best shot.
I thought it was really cool. It was one of mine, but you didn't steal it. You're good.
It just looks so good. So that one's my favorite, and then I'll kick it over to Chandler to take it away.
Alrighty, I do not have anything funny to say about this film. Not that there isn't, but I just didn't have anything to write down, I guess, and nothing's coming to. But for that, I want to give like maybe some controversial take. Maybe I don't know if it's really controversial whatsoever, but I just couldn't hear what they said, and I didn't rewind it. So I'm counting on you guys.
Yeah.
the uncle, when he was in the bathroom with Victor and he was peeing, did he say that he was peeing on chimes, or that the sound of peeing was like chimes?
The sound of peeing was like chimes. He said specifically the French porcelain, it makes chimes whenever you pee onto it.
Okay,
no,
maybe
he didn't say that. He didn't say that specifically. He said porcelain is like chimes to a man's stream.
The same thing, though. I love that, though. That's the greatest way to say it.
It's important.
It is important, yeah. It's good.
That is a little funny now that you say that. So
I think that's pretty funny.
There's a lot to like in this film, and it's gonna be hard to find a favorite. But for my least favorite, I think I have to go with like the bittersweet coming to forgiveness moment, like at the very end. I did not care for that. I thought that was so fake.
It's undeserved for Frankenstein.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, Frankenstein's too innocent and kind to forgive that.
Well, I meant sorry. The creature should. Yeah, I meant Dr. Frankenstein.
Sorry,
shouldn't have been forgiven.
I agree. That's what I'm. Yes, I might have mixed up my words, but yes, I agree. And even like for the captain, why like the fact that there was like some moral lesson be learned from this, which I mean, yeah, there's a lesson in the story, but the fact that he just kind of listened to it, I thought that was a little silly too. I know you said you liked.
Yeah, I was just saying, I actually liked that. That made sense because his entire shtick was like, we need to keep going forward through the ice and meet our goal. While everyone else on the ship was like, dude, fucking stop. We need to go home.
I don't think that story should have been what decided that for him. I think that's something that a captain should be able to do without hearing a story about it.
But back then, there's no way for you to like watch a movie to learn a lesson. You just kept doing some garbage until you got like hit in the face and you couldn't move forward with this or anything like that. He literally was standing in front of a monster. That's lesson enough, I think.
Yeah, it is scary, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I
think that killed 6 of his men.
That would change anyone. For sure. I'm hearing an echo.
You're good now.
Is that just okay? I don't know. I just didn't vibe with it. I didn't like it. I thought it was goofy and silly. But we'll go with my favorite next. And it's the 45 minutes, I guess, that isn't from the book. That demo he was giving was so cool.
Yeah,
that was so cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
And he was just putting on a show. Like he had lots of haters in the crowd or people that were just fascinated, and he took it and he went with it, and he made it really cool. It was really. I thought like the dead carcass, whatever, looked like one of those I Am Legend monsters, vampires.
Yeah.
I really liked all of that, and the fact that it could catch, which doesn't really make sense.
I just processed something. How do you fucking know they're vampires? No one knows the things from I Am Legend are vampires. Everyone thinks they're zombies. You're that guy.
Well, they hide in the dark.
You're that guy. Oh my god, you're awesome. Keep going.
Well, that's kind of like where I am. I actually might want to end on that note. Not gonna lie.
So I just was taken away because like 90% of the world just thinks that they're zombies.
I can understand that they kind of they run around like a horde of zombies.
Yeah.
But they're a little too intelligent for that, and they hide in the dark.
Yeah, and also from the original book, they're like much more stereotypical vampires. I said in the book, and I wasn't even talking about Frankenstein. What the fuck is wrong with me? Someone stop.
That goes towards the counter.
Yeah, it does. It does go towards the counter. Sorry, Chandler. Keep going.
No, I think that's about what I had. Mm-hmm. I gave my favorite in that. Yeah, so I'm gonna popcorn Austin.
What was your least?
Okay.
Yeah. My least was the coming to forgiveness moment.
Yeah, my opinion's not going to matter that much because I think most of my stuff has been taken. If I'm being no, that's fine.
I was kind of hoping I wasn't going to go because I was like, whatever Austin has left, I'm probably going to steal it.
Yeah. It's so funniest. I had the like porcelain one too. I'm like it's not that I didn't have a good time like during this. I definitely did, but I didn't have a lot of. I was struggling.
It's not a funny movie.
No, and it's like it has something to say, and it like is sad, and it makes you feel, and it can make you smile at times too. But it's not. I wasn't like giggling at any point. But I will add on that scene. I liked that the uncle also asked him to flush it afterwards.
Yeah, that was
funny.
And he almost did it too. Did you see Oscar Isaac and Jacob amazing acting in this movie. But that
why haven't we talked about that? Like they're acting. All right, Oscar Isaac did great. Jacob Elordi was phenomenal. Like his physical acting, like everything that he did, like the sounds he made. Oh, like yeah, like it was like Baby Frankenstein. I didn't think he had that in him. Sky.
Me too.
I want to go to that exact Baby Frankenstein while you're still there. So I am, for reference, I am 5'11". My knees click if I get even halfway down into that squat that he did. I do not know how he did that.
Crazy.
Like whenever his like actual ass was at the floor with his knees folded, I do not know how he did that.
I'll recreate it. He was doing one of these guys.
Dude, if you do, your knees are gonna click.
All right, you gotta say thank you though.
That's impossible. That hurt, like all of that, me doing that. So the fact that some guy 6 inches taller than me is able to do that for an entire movie.
I love that Zach did not hear that part though.
Wait, what did he say?
Next time you do that, thank you. That was Chandler. It was really good.
Yeah, but awesome, great work on them. But that scene with the can you flush this? Oscar Isaac like paused for a second, looked at the pisser, and like actually considered walking over there and flushing it, and then it cut. And I consider it too. Yeah, honestly, I just thought that was really good acting from Oscar. You know. It gave me the vibe of something that the director might not have told him to do, but he just thought that he should do as like that character. If that makes sense. Keep going, Austin. I think I interrupted you.
Okay. Yeah, we kind of went over my favorite too. So my favorite was gonna be like when we learned Frankenstein's intelligence, like when he first speaks and all of that. But we kind of no, you're good. I'm glad we talked about it previously because I don't. Instead of me saying it's my favorite and then tearing it apart, I get to not say it's my favorite anymore. I'm like, no, I still really liked it, but I do think it makes a little bit less. I don't know. I go back and forth on whether I want Victor to be a reliable narrator or not, and I see your perspective that he's a older developed one, even though he was hunting the creature like not that long ago. And I don't know. The ending is, I guess I'll use this to go to my least favorite too, which is same thing as Chant, is the ending. It feels very light to me. Like I think they added a lot, and from what I'm hearing from you, Zach, and I don't mind most of what they added. Like I think Mia Goth's death I had an issue with. Like it was weird how much she was attached to the creature. Like not in the way that she was sad that it died, but that she like was like, you are the point of my life. I didn't want to be here anyway. Like I'm like, what did I miss here?
Dying in front of your loved ones looking at you. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? What are you on about?
It was weird. It was really weird. All that to say, I liked a lot of the additions. I just feel like they needed to add more to the end rather than just keep it like the book, because they added so much stuff showing how awful like Victor Frankenstein was, and then they still just had the 180 turn at the end, and I didn't love that.
And Frankenstein and the monster has no like impact on the death of. I mean, he does have an impact. Like it was more impactful to me in the book that the creature killed the people in Frankenstein's life than them just dying because of actions of Frankenstein. Like I feel like he didn't even learn from that. Like even with William being like, "You are the monsters," literally telling the theme of the story to him. I was like. He then immediately went into being a hunter towards him. I just felt like it didn't add to the character at all. Continue. Sorry.
Well, yeah.
It might have been like the regret, like the instant regret. He's like, I need to get rid of what I made, like immediately after. But that's still really weak. Yeah, I do agree.
It seemed more like anger.
Yeah,
like he was taking revenge or just had so much built up resentment.
That's definitely a better way to say it. It wasn't regret until the end. But yeah, anger is a great way to say it.
The addition motivation is good. I just felt like exactly what Austin said. Keep going. Sorry, I'm interrupting your part.
Oh no, you're good. I said I was going to do the favorite as like learning the intelligence, but since we talked about that, my actual favorite is going to be him asking to have the dynamite blown up, and like whenever like Frankenstein like lifts up the knife to like stab him, he just like puts his hand down on it. I'm sorry, Sky. I know it was badass.
It was tough.
Like, it was really badass. Like I get that he's like Deadpool and it doesn't make sense, but like, dude was cool. Like he had major auras standing there, and I don't know. I like that, and
it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Cool badass action scene.
The regrowing might not have made sense, but in that moment, it did look cool. Aside from the eye, like the hand looked cool.
Yeah, it did look cool. I did like that.
Didn't make sense, but rule of cool.
Is it Popcorn Zach turn?
Yes. Sorry, I want to add. He smirked after he said "run" and like the dynamite.
Yeah,
and I thought that was cool.
I don't.
I did like the smirk, but like. The very cliche run. I just was like, I've heard that line a bajillion times. Go ahead, Jen.
I just one small thing before you go, Zach. I just want to like mention how like their attention to detail in this film, and I'm sure like that's just part of like the director's standards. But like in the beginning, when he was messing around with the ship and all the crew and killing them, I noticed that one of his fingers or two of his fingers were like all bone, but up until the dynamite, you didn't like it was normal. So I was wondering how they were going to do that, and then lo and behold, the dynamite, and then his fingers are missing, or I thought that was really kind of cool. I mean, it makes sense right before that moment where. But yeah, I was just wondering whenever they were going to connect the two, and they did. They actually did. So
I love your brain, Chandler. That I did the exact same thing in my viewing. I was like, he doesn't have skin on those fingers there. I'm excited to see what happens with that. But I also I was at the point in which I wasn't expecting him to be Deadpool. I was like, what are they going to do with that? Like, how are they going to do that? I thought you were going to mention the fact that the bear skin he was wearing, like, singed whenever the bullets went through. I thought that was a really crazy addition to at the beginning of the movie. Like, because I in that moment, I was kind of going through a little bit of a roller coaster. I was like, I don't like that we're seeing the monster right now, but that's a really cool addition to it. Like, I really like that the fire is like starting a little bit on the fur there. I thought that was really cool. The cinematography and the set design of this movie is fucking amazing. I'm a big fan of. That's summary stuff. I'm gonna go into the actual important bits. Funniest scene. There were two kind of. G had hers that I'm going to mention, and then that leads perfectly into my funniest scene. When the uncle is drinking mercury and he goes, "One night at Venus and you spend your life with Mercury," and G cackled at that, which I think is pretty funny too. But the bit that I actually laughed really hard at was whenever he was like, "I want to be your perfect creature," and Oscar goes, "No," and then walks away. I thought that was
scientist saying no.
Well, like
that's crazy.
In the way he said it too was so fucking funny to me. I don't know why. It just was actually hilarious. And those two together made for my funniest scene. I thought that was really fantastic. Go ahead. Yeah.
So in that moment, because you're talking about whenever he finds out, the mercury, I thought whenever he said he was changing behind that, I thought he was going to walk and it was going to be a comedic relief scene where we see his bare ass on the screen, and then it led to that. But sorry, I just had to mention that because I thought that was going to be a funny moment, and then it didn't, and then it went to those, and I laughed at those instead.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So, Skylar's like, "Man, I wanted to see man ass. I'm upset
again.
I wanted to see more man ass." Shit. My favorite scene, I'm gonna go off of. I have a couple for least favorite and favorite. Chandler, I would like to say that I wrote down, this wasn't in the book, but I fucking love this during the pitch scene where he made the pseudo monster and he had he had to catch the ball specifically. I was like, that's good. That's a really great addition to this. I think. And then my first favorite scene in the movie was the scene where he was going through and building the body while they played classical music. I thought it was so well done. I really enjoyed that because that's something that in the book it's a paragraph where he describes building the body, and Guillermo was like, I really like this interpretation. I'm going to make it weird and artistic and classical music-y, and I quite enjoyed that. My other favorite scene is whenever Victor is hunting Frankenstein. This is I only like this because of pure visual. It's whenever the sun was setting, not whenever it was rising at the end of the movie. And Victor just looks up and the monster is just like on the horizon of the setting sun with this like perfect shot. It's so fucking cool. It's so fucking good. And it's just standing there, like not moving at all in the background. It's so clean. One of my favorite like shots in this year of cinema. It was really, really solid. As for least favorite scene, I wrote down general. I don't like the CG animals. There was a lot of them, and I wasn't a big fan of them. And then I put an arrow because, like, about 20 minutes after I wrote that down, he ripped off the skin of a wolf, and I just was like, "Fucking hell! I don't want this. I could have gone my entire life without ever seeing this, and I would have been probably better off because of it." So all of the CG animals in that specific bit of the fight scene, I just was like, "Oh, fuck that! I don't like it." And then everyone.
You just don't like dogs getting hurt? I'm like, or is it like this bad CG-ness of it?
It was a mix, I'd say. I didn't like the CG, but I also didn't like seeing the dog get its skin ripped off. I'm fine with dogs dying. I just don't show.
You just got a haircut, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what happened.
It's so much worse.
And then my other least favorite scene was obviously Mia Goth getting shot because Oscar Isaac didn't even like give a second notice between like her moving to the left slightly. She literally jumped in front of him and then he pulled the trigger. I was like, this is fucking.
He did it on purpose.
So he knows that the creature can't die.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, this is so fucking stupid. Again, it was another moment where I wrote down like you could tell this wasn't in the book because someone didn't take time to think about it. They just put it in the movie because they're like, we have to have this in there. She has to die somehow. Oh, dude, I would have been so fucking pissed if she became the bride. You have no idea. I would have paced around my room.
Next one.
Sequel. Yes. Keep it going. All right, that's all my scenes. Do we want to go in the same order for number, summary, etc.?
Reverse order.
Reverse.
Yeah,
order?
reverse. You kick it off.
Reverse.
Okay. So I left this movie with a smile, which is the first time I've said that in a very long time on this podcast. It's been a minute, at least 3 or 4 weeks. I think the last series we did was Nazar, so that was actually a pretty solid movie there. But the Now You See Me movies were that was rough to get through. But we're finally in something solid. The cinematography and the set design on this movie are amazing. I am a very big fan of like 1800s, sorry, not 1980s, 1800s, like steampunk kind of aesthetic. And this movie just like hits that vibe in the way that I specifically like really wanted. Cause I didn't want them to go like too crazy with the science, but like the red power batteries that just like scratched an itch in my brain that was like, oh, that was exactly what I wanted for this movie. So I really enjoyed those two aspects of it because it was perfect. And the scenes that I wanted them to adapt well in the book, like Frankenstein's backstory. I wish I could have had a camera on my face for that 40-minute period because it literally was like a one-to-one recreation of this book that I think of very fondly. And I'm going to not remove points for things being different from the book because, like, I understand that this is a completely different interpretation than what I would want. And I know that I would have done it a little bit differently. So that's not, like, Guillermo's fault, obviously, because he's a very talented writer and director. I just didn't like certain aspects of the story, like Mia Goth's character specifically at the end and all the things that we've talked about on this podcast. But it still is a great movie. And I really want to see another Frankenstein movie whenever in 30 years, 40, 50 years, whenever I create mine. So I think I'm going to give this a solid... I fucking don't know. I'm between two numbers right now that are really tight. So I think I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I want to say 7.5, but like... It's definitely better than that. Like in my head, I just am trying to go lower because like I wish it was done differently. I don't know. We're saying 8. I'm saying 8. I'm committing to it. Okay. That's it. That's my number. It was a good movie. Finally. Yeah. Who's up? Austin's up next. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. I really like this movie. Like the far majority of it felt significant, and I think that pretentious part of me likes that. And I liked a lot of the quotes that were, I feel like, pretty meaningful and had a good message of, I don't know, generally don't be a dick for Frankenstein.
You keep talking, sorry.
He's pulling out the quotes. Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of quotes I liked. I really liked the overall message, or the overall story, that Victor Frankenstein was an awful human being and that, he's the monster in reality. I do think it kind of fell on its face a little bit at the end. But I kind of knew that was going to happen because I was watching through the entirety of the movie and I'm like, damn, I'm really liking this. I'm like, what's going to be the bad part? And then I clicked to like the timeline and I'm like, oh, there's 12 minutes left in this movie. It's going to be the end. But I enjoyed all of it. And I thought the acting was phenomenal. I thought that interpretation of the creature, it's refreshing from someone who hasn't read the book and has been told to read the book a lot of times. And I think I want to do that now. But I'm glad that I went to this with a completely blank slate and only having like the stereotypical interpretation of the creature. For me, I didn't know what I wanted to rate this movie either. I was between like a 7 and a 8.5, honestly. And we've trashed it for a while now. Like, just hearing about part of the plot holes, and I think that's kind of prevalent in my mind right now. But I really did enjoy like 95% of this movie a lot. I think everyone did a great job in it, and I enjoy the message. So I think I'm going to go with Zach and keep it at an 8. I think that works for me.
I put you down as an 8.5.
Oh, man. I got to say, I was closer to a 7.5. That's what I thought I was going to do before Zach said 8. I thought he was going lower, and that made me realize I should probably like him more.
I wanted to take the time and read the first, because like there's a bit where he speaks Shakespeare. I was incorrect. That's not the first thing he says. It's a confrontation in the middle of a park where Frankenstein like approaches him after years of torture, and he just starts yelling at him. He's like, "Devil, how dare you approach me?" And he starts yelling at him, calling him insect vile and other mean stuff. And all the creature says is, "I expected this response." And I was like, that's so tough, dude. Holy shit. Sorry. I remember why I like that scene so much. Go read the book if you haven't. It's really fucking good. So it's Chandler
right now.
Chandler.
Yeah.
Yes, Popcorn Chan. Sorry.
Alrighty. Yeah, I also like this movie a lot. Just like this type of film, like it's based off of some sort of book, has some source material. I'm not sure what kind of genre you classify it in, like if it's like supernatural or I'm not sure. I'm not sure what. Just monsters. Let's call them monsters. I really dig this sort of stuff, especially with it being gory, rated R. It's kind of right up that wheelhouse. It has the potential to be good, and it won't be limited. So, but I do have some gripes, and I think for once I can't blame the movie. Maybe it's something to blame the book about, because when does a movie closely follow the book like this one does? I feel like this is maybe a first for me. So maybe if anything, I have an issue with the book, so I won't knock the movie so much. But yeah, I also agree, like the ending was a little sloppy, a little rushed. I just don't see how you forgive that guy after all that trauma he put you through. But speaking of trauma, also liked the theme throughout the movie. I remember I watched it with my roommate and mentioned like, wow, he's starting to sound like his father a lot. And we just paused the movie and had a whole conversation about that and the theming surrounding that. So, and I must say, the shots were so good. Oh my goodness. Some of the cinematography. I wanted to mention this, Zach, when you were talking. Do you remember the part when you're talking about really good shots and just visuals and scenes? When they're in the cottage and he walked outside. I'm not sure if he was with the old man at this point. He might have been, but like it was like daytime, and you could see like the perimeter of those trees. I'm sure there was tons of CGI involved in that, because where do you find a place that looks as good as that? But I thought it still looked good. That was definitely wallpaper.
Was that with the snow when they walked outside and it was snowing, or was that before that?
Maybe it could have been right before then. I feel like the trees would have kept their leaves or needles,
right?
Because I don't think to shed, but I don't remember particularly. But it was just such a fun movie to watch. So many cool moments to it. I think the director did a great job. It definitely wasn't what I was expecting, though. I will say, I knew Frankenstein and I kind of knew the story surrounding it, but after watching all these other renditions of Frankenstein, I didn't expect this one. But regardless, I will bring the average down to a much more comfortable number, and I'll give it a 7.5.
That's valid.
Thank you, Jen, for being the reasonable one.
I got you.
I just love this franchise so much, and it's almost what I wanted. So, like, that's where I gave the 0.5.
Monsterverse? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah. Dude, next I'm going to see Jacob Elordi and, what's his name? I'm blanking on his name. Captain Jack Sparrow. He was supposed to be the Invisible Man in the Monster Universe. Someone help. Come on, all three of us can't. What?
Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp, yeah. Johnny Depp was supposed to be the Invisible Man in the original Monster Universe with Tom Cruise's mummy.
Oh,
I didn't know.
Fun fact.
I didn't know that either.
Right. So I'll take it away.
Popcorn.
I thought this movie. Thank you. I think this movie was really, really good. But the one thing that's really holding me back is I don't know how often I'd rewatch this. Like, this is a movie I could definitely like rewatch, like maybe like once a year, but it's definitely not going to be like I really just want to like I'm probably never going to say I really just want to watch Frankenstein like right now, even though I watched it in like the last like couple months. Like, this isn't a movie I'll probably go back to often, but I did really like it the entire way through. But yeah, a lot of what all you were saying is like really good cinematography. Like, the movie looks great for like most of it. There's some parts where it's like, but really good acting. Some parts were not really necessary. For example, the one whole character, multiple characters just weren't needed. But I think I'm still gonna rate it pretty similar to Chandler. I'm gonna go with a 7.5 because it's still a really good movie, and I really am just like a fan of like the part 1, part 2 things right now. Like, it kind of like that was my favorite part about Weapons was the multiple parts, and I really like that in this one too. I really like basically like getting an idea of what the story is, and then like maybe some things change, and like maybe like I get like a new opinion on this character, or I get a new opinion on this character because the narration is now different, so it's like spoken differently. And I'm just a real fan of that right now. But yeah, I'm gonna go with a 7.5. So our average is a 7.75. So we can round it up to an 8 or down to a 7.5. It's same thing, whatever.
We'll go 8. We'll go 8. Just for the sake of this movie. We haven't had a good one in a minute. Yeah,
so the Mediak average on Frankenstein is an 8, which, I mean, I feel pretty comfortable with. I was bouncing between a 7.5 and an 8, and the only thing that really lowered me down was the rewatchability portion.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's super valid, actually. News time. We're into the news. Okay, yes.
Can I go pee first? I have been drinking a lot of water.
You know what? I have to pee too. We're gonna take a pause and we'll come back. We are back from our pee break. Thank you for taking the not any seconds, because it'll just cut from the last recording to this recording. I appreciate it. We're gonna jump into the news segment. We got our first pictures of the Legend of Zelda movie. We got a wide shot of Link and Zelda on grass, and then we got individual pictures of both of them. I don't know. We have nothing to go off of, so I don't know. I think they look good.
It's not Chris Pratt.
It's not Chris Pratt, which is definitely good. I mean, it's not being made by Illumination, so it never was going to be. But what?
A rumor he was going to be?
No, he's making a joke as Mario. Right.
And like in reality, a lot of these game remakes just get a big A-list actor to play them and just kind of neglect the whole character accuracy part of it. So
yeah,
that's true.
I thought they looked good.
I was gonna say I cannot see him playing Link at all.
I couldn't see him playing fucking Mario, but he is.
Well, wait, is this live action?
Yeah, this is live action.
Yeah, more than anything in live action, Link's a little smaller.
The picture of Chris Pratt dressed up in like the elf attire is fucking killing me. That's so funny. That is hilarious, actually. I choose to believe that that's now like what he actually looks like. For my Legend of Zelda nerds out there, they're going with the Breath of the Wild look for Zelda, and then what appears to be I think Twilight Princess version of Link, which is very interesting because they're like, none of you guys have ever played Legend of Zelda, so this is going to be word vomit to you. But like, I don't know. I feel like that's an interesting style. Again, literally nothing to go off of except what they're wearing. Just felt like I was assuming they would link the two different like outfit types together like they did in the other games. What?
They would link?
Oh! Yeah, I don't know. But I like it. I mean, Link obviously needed to be in his green instead of his blue Breath of the Wild. And like Breath of the Wild got so popular that that's like the definitive look for Zelda now. So I understand why they went with both of the fits because you had to do the most popular version for both of them. But like, I'm wondering if that's going to have any impact on the story. Probably not, most likely. But like, that's how they went for the design. This one's funny because this leads into a bit of news that we have talked about a little bit here. So Pierce Brosnan was recently in an interview and he said that he might be in the next Superman movie. But that headline is very deceiving because the quote is, I never banged on anyone's door. I mean, they know where to find me. I've heard that Dr. Fate was going to have his own show or his own movie or whatever. I heard he's going to be in the next Superman movie. That doesn't sound very definitive at all. So that headline is very stupid. I didn't like it. I thought that was funny. And to go off of that, we don't even know if we're getting another Superman movie because right now, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, but Warner Brothers is in bid and the person that's looking to buy them, that's like most likely going to end up buying them, doesn't want James Gunn's DC. So if that goes through, we're going to get another reboot, which is fucking so funny. That's so funny that that's happening. Anyone have opinions? Yes, dude. Yes. Give me more of those.
Austin, was that you or was that Chandler?
It was Austin, actually.
Yeah, because it's badass for getting another reboot. I didn't want to see one of my favorite movies of all time continue, because why would anyone want that?
Because why? So true, dude. So true. Speaking of, The Rock in a recent interview said, I'm going to start focusing on movies that develop me as a person instead of movies that will make me a lot of money. Then immediately decided to announce Jumanji 3, which is so fucking funny to me. Yes, dude, keep it up. Sorry, that's great. I love that. We're getting a Jumanji 3. I mean, I don't know. G likes the second movie. I didn't dislike the first movie. I thought it was pretty fun. Next bit is, this is great. Everyone get the clapping emoji ready. What's his name? I'm blanking. Kevin Spacey is homeless and he's complaining about it. Everyone be happy. Yay. Apparently,
wait, is that real?
Yeah, for real. He's living from hotel to hotel doing jobs.
That's
in
not
like
homeless.
Yeah, I know, it's stupid.
If that's the case, Elvis was homeless for a quarter of his life.
Hey, I'm just saying what Kevin Spacey's saying. He said, I'm homeless and I have to do odd jobs from club to club.
Yeah, I feel bad for you.
I lived for like 40 years of my life being a multi-millionaire and assaulting people. Oh, that sucks. I'm homeless now. Fucking loser.
It truly is always the best people who get the worst outcomes, isn't it?
So true, Skylar. So true. Oh, whatever. I hope he stays homeless. I hope he loses his money and the ability to...
I hope he loses his not home.
Yeah, honestly. We're getting a new DreamWorks animated movie called Forgotten Island that is described to be... This is the writer of it. Manny Jacinto. He is describing this movie as a mix between The Hangover and Coco. So that would be interesting. I'm actually really curious about this. I know that face. I get it. But like in my head, I'm like, you know what? That's weird. And it's DreamWorks. I trust come on. I don't know. I'm pulling. What if it's good?
Are they gonna like do acid and go into the land of the dead or something?
That would be awesome.
What combination is this gonna look? Sorry, go on.
I choose to believe that's what's happening. That sounds amazing. We got a confirmed 4th season for House of the Dragon, which is really fun. The R-rated TMNT Last Ronin movie was canceled. However, it was supposed to, like, whenever they initially talked about it, it was supposed to release like next year, and I haven't heard anything about it since it was like a first announced. So this is not shocking to me in the slightest. I mean, it sucks, obviously, because that would have been such an awesome story to see, but we're getting a video game telling the exact same story in like 2 or 3 years that we actually have a trailer for. So I'm I'm more putting eggs in that basket, and I'm not really upset about losing the movie because I think the video game would be able to portray that really incredible story way better than a movie could. So I'm not really upset about that in the slightest. And then final news. I thought I had more news than this. Damn. Final news. Josh Gad will be in Wonder Man, the TV show, which I'm very excited for Wonder Man. I watched the trailer. I think it looks really fun. I hope they didn't use AI in that art that they made for it. But Josh Gad will be playing an extremely famous version of himself in Wonder Man, which is really funny to me because I think that, like, I don't think Josh Gad is the funniest guy on the planet. However, I do think that if he's used well, he can be quite funny. So seeing him be like an eccentric Hollywood executive inside of a TV show where they make fun of Hollywood executives, I think that could work out pretty well. So I'm pretty excited for that. What was that? Yeah.
I have one piece of news.
You One Piece?
I wish.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
It suddenly connects, actually. The latest episode of My Hero just got a 9.9 rating, so it's up there with the Kuma episode.
Yeah,
as one of the highest rated. It's the highest rated in the series, the one that dropped yesterday.
Yeah, this week dropped. Oh, right. Thank you for bringing that up because there's another bit of news I think it's really important to add. This week simultaneously dropped the highest rated episode of anime this year, which is what Skylar said. And also the lowest rated episode of anime this year, which is One Punch Man, the most recent episode. And the thing is, like, I watched the episode just to see how like necessarily bad it is, and like, it's not that the animation is bad; it's that there isn't animation like at all. It's literally just like scenes from the manga, like they're just redrawing the pictures with less detail, and then cutting to another scene that's just like a manga snippet. So like in my brain while I was watching it, I was like, I don't understand why this is the worst episode of anime ever. But then I thought about it a little bit and I was like, yeah, no, it's kind of valid. It fits. It kind of fits a little bit. Like it's not like objectively bad animation, but you're not having a good time with watching that thing. It's just like, fucking hell, this is stupid. That's all my news, by the way. I'm out. Does anyone? Oh yeah. Go ahead, Scott.
Zach.
Yes.
What have you been watching?
Don't worry, man. I'll tell you. Honestly, not a whole lot. I didn't watch Super Crooks, which I said I started. I only watched 2 episodes of that last time, and I haven't watched any of it since. But me and G are grinding through My Hero. Excuse me. We're about halfway through season 5. We're almost at the part to watch the second movie, which I'm really excited for. That second movie fucking cooks. So I'm that's gonna be awesome. And then basically the only other thing that I have done is Marvel Rivals. I've been playing a shit ton of Marvel Rivals, and I'm done editing this video. I wasn't going to say that because it should already be up by the time this podcast comes out. But watch that if you haven't. It's really good. That's what I've been putting most of my time into. I think I did a pretty decent job when making that. But yeah, I don't have anything else. So I wrote fart on my board up there, and I don't know why.
Callie?
yeah, that's what it's related to. Yeah, I'm just looking at it. Oh, it's fort. It's not supposed to be fart. Oh, wow. That's a dumb brain moment. I feel really stupid for saying that. But I played like 2 games of Fortnite with Skylar. Okay. Someone else, please. That was embarrassing. What was it?
Austin.
Oh, Austin.
Okay. Oh.
What have you been watching?
Thank you for asking, Sky. I almost got ahead of myself there.
Almost pulled a me.
Yeah, I almost pulled a Chan. I would be honored to pull a Chan, by the way. But, so I haven't been watching too much. I've been grinding Better Call Saul. I think next time we talk about it, it's going to be done. I'm like halfway through season 5, and it's really good. It's really, really good. I think you're right, Sky. I think it is better than Breaking Bad.
I'm so glad you started it. I'm so glad.
I don't know why I did, but it's so out of left field from everything else I've been watching recently. Like it's almost been like 100% anime and just other. I don't know. It's mostly been anime, and I'm just like, Better Call Saul. Like,
this is the vibe right now.
Yeah, and then I watched the entirety of it in like 2.5 weeks. God, it's good, and yeah, we got to talk about that like in depth at some point because I have opinions I need to get from you. But I'm not going to derail this by doing that. But yeah, on that grind. I've been playing Arc Raiders, which I'm having fun with. It's just like Second Life type thing. Live in the apocalypse, collect things for the sake of collecting things. Love that. Does anyone know what I'm going to say it wrong? Straftat is?
Nope. What?
It's so fun. We've been playing that, me and my friends, the last couple days. It's just like 1v1s or like 2v2s, but there's a bunch of different game modes, and like you have like crazy mobility. And it's like this very horribly animated game, but the game mechanics are so fun. And there are, I think it's 325 different maps and game modes that you can like play. So like we've just been doing like either free for all or like 2v2s or 1v1s, and it's so fun, and it's a free game. So I would recommend getting it. I think it's honestly a good one to like get a video out of. Straftat.
Straftat? Okay.
I think I saw clips of it before, but like it's really a good time, and I'm glad. Like Noah recommends, I think like 3 different games every week, and I don't listen to most of them, but this was a good rec. Yeah, it's like really shittily animated.
Focus on him, not him.
Watch some gameplay of it. There's a bunch of you can like fight people with katanas. You can have like Gatling guns, and like you're just spawning on like other sides of a small map and just murdering each other. And then like I don't know, you're just trying to win the best number of rounds. It's really good time. And then Hollow Knight. Well, I played a little bit of Rivals with Zach. Marvel Zombies specifically.
Yeah, we're killing it.
But we are killing it. We're gonna beat Nightmare 4.
Yes, we are.
But
eventually.
Hollow Knight, I got past probably the most fun fight in the game, and I am at 90% completion of the game, which sounds impressive until I found out recently you can actually get 130% completion.
Oh my.
That's really fun.
That's awesome.
It is demoralizing, but
You
it's
should say
whatever.
moralizing, because now you have so much game to play.
You have so much more.
I had a second game. They made a sequel. I played this game to play the sequel, and I'm still not there. I'm like a quarter of the way through the series right now.
Yes, but it'll make it so much better.
50 hours into it. But yeah, that's about it. Better Call Saul and playing games.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for asking.
We do need to talk about Better Call Saul, because the only other person that like watched it was that I can remember was Lily. Zach, you didn't watch it.
I've watched Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I had the Austin approach to it. I grinded it out in like 2 weeks.
Better Call Saul is legitimately.
I know. I got to see it.
Like, exactly
so
what
much
you
more
think, but also
enjoyable.
not.
I got to check it out. I know it's really good. I watched the first episode like 5 years ago, but I wasn't really like paying attention to it. And I was like, hey, I need to pause this so I could like really lock in on this. And then I just haven't.
So I see Chandler hard focusing. He's waiting for me to pop the question. So Chandler,
Yes, guy.
what have you been watching?
Honestly, not much. It really took like all of you guys to go for me to figure out what I was doing. But I did watch a little video yesterday, and I was chatting to Zach about it. And for that reason, I actually watched the War of Rohirrim. How do you say that? With Mike just yesterday, just because of your video.
Yeah.
It was really good. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a fun watch. It was weird how like they animated over, like they drew over the background, which wasn't animated.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. Added some depth or texture to it, if you will. Also, I've been playing some Fortnite. Played some with Sky, Caden, and Zach before I kind of rage quit. Some more Rocket League 2. Also rage quitting in that game. Yeah. There's a common theme with
Who
these
plays video games
multiplayer
for fun nowadays?
Minecraft. So my buddies we're trying to do like this hardcore run where we just beat, like we're just kind of going for the Ender Dragon. Like that's the purpose. And we were doing it LAN, like together. We all I brought my laptop, not my PC. And we didn't have much success, but we tried it the other day virtually. And might pick up on it later. Split Fiction. I'm not sure if I mentioned that last time. Maybe I did or did not. Mike and I started playing it. Really fun. I feel like I had to said that last time because I don't remember playing it with this.
I don't think you did. Sorry, I nodded because I was like, "Oh, that's a good game." No,
Yeah.
like,
You played Austin?
I've watched a lot of gameplay, which
Okay.
I tend to do with that type of game, but it seems cool. I would play it.
I was trying to avoid the gameplay because I would see mini games here and there, and I'm just waiting. I saw one a while ago that spoiled it, but I'm just waiting for that because it looked so cool. But right now, I want to say It Takes Two is better.
Have you played all of those games?
Like A Way Out.
Yeah, there's like 4 of them. I think Split Fiction was the 4th one.
I'm like 80% done with A Way Out. Just haven't finished the last, which is weird because I thought it was all in prison and you're not.
Yeah,
which is interesting. It Takes Two, completed that, and this we're barely in Split Fiction, maybe an hour or so. So there's so much left, but I gotta say the story was so good. It Takes Two. Anywho, 2 more. Snake Eater. Started playing that game a little bit. The new one, or like the remake.
Yeah.
Remaster. It looks really good. I'm playing off of the new controls, not the old controls, so I don't know what that was like. But it's different. Like there's so many like you do something that are like the checkpoints are very common. You do something for maybe like 5-10 minutes and like there's a cutscene, which there's so many cutscenes in this. I'm very surprised how many cutscenes are in this game. All right. And lastly, Sifu. Started playing that a little bit.
I think you played that before.
Oh, did I start that?
I don't know, not like recently, like in the months ago. Did you? Or was it someone else?
I think I just downloaded it.
Fuck. It might have been someone else then. I'm sorry.
And I probably mentioned it though. But yeah, are we all aware what that game is?
You like
Sifu?
age?
Yeah. So you're young and you're healthy, but you're weak. But as you die, you age and you become you lose health, but you become stronger or more knowledgeable. You know more combos, this and that. But yeah, there's like some give and take. It's kind of interesting, but it's also very challenging. It's so difficult. The pairing system is very hard. It's very hard. It's
Does the pairing window get wider whenever you get older because your reflexes are better or something like that? I think that would be interesting.
Imagine it's a parabola.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, middle age.
Yeah,
you might be at your peak. I don't know. I haven't played too much, and I didn't really die so much. I tried not to.
I'm too good. I haven't died yet.
No, that's not what I was trying to say.
I know.
So I was just worried, like, what happens when I do die? Like, I don't want to get too old where there's no point in return.
Right.
I'm cooked. But the pairing window is very difficult, and like the controls aren't super. You'd think in the settings there'd be a control page that shows you everything you can do that you can do. That doesn't exist. So if you forget stuff during the tutorial, you're cooked.
That's tough.
But yeah, I think they're making a movie for that. Actually, PlayStation is.
They made a TV show. I mean, they made an episode of a TV show for it.
Oh, really? Oh, like that control thing.
Amazon. The animated one. Not Level Up.
I know what you're talking about. No, it's something level.
Secret Level.
You're talking about.
Secret Level. Yeah.
I think they're making a movie. I really think.
Oh, really? Cool. Yeah. Right now, it shares the same space as Concord. Sorry, I was just making a joke because Concord also has a Secret Level episode. So it and Sifu have the same level of pop culture relevance.
Did you hear they're trying to bring Concord back?
No, they're not. Shut the fuck up. They're not.
People were like going into the game files and actually playing the game somehow.
I kind of want to.
But you gotta know how that stuff works, like coding and whatnot, I guess.
I'll download a ROM'd version of Concord.
Or like they've been playing it on I'm not sure what it's called. Like if you want to play like a Nintendo game on like a browser
emulator.
Yeah. I think that's what they're doing maybe. But regardless, that's about all I've been doing this past week. So
that's cool. Time to. Are you guys ready to lock in? All right.
Locked.
3, 2, 1. Sky. What have you been watching? That's pretty good.
Don't you know? I really got the urge just to join in too, just like unexpectedly, but I held back and I was like, I'm not prepared.
That would have been funny.
I forget how it works.
Both perfectly in sync for me. I have to say. Hope it worked on your end.
It was pretty good.
It was like an opera, like added to each other.
That's awesome.
We're getting better.
Let's go.
So like everybody else's, mine isn't too much. Still moving and putting everything away. And then, but I have been able to play some Fortnite with Chandler,
The boys.
for example. So, yeah. And then I've been playing some 2K because whenever like Caden or Skylar get on and I like want to play a game with them, that's usually what they pick. So I'll do that. And then aside from that, I watched the Day the Earth Blew Up from the Looney Tunes movie.
Convinced both
I loved
of you.
it. It was awesome. It's like objectively not like the best movie ever, but I had so much fun. Like I watched Frankenstein and The Day the Earth Blew Up with Lily. So we had like back-to-back days where we both just like watched a movie. And she liked Looney Tunes a lot more, which makes sense because she just wanted something. She just wanted something fun, and it was a lot more fun. But she still really liked Frankenstein. Like she also gave it a 7.5. But yeah, I got to see that. I agreed in the video that would come out, that is now out. I do agree that like it was an odd pairing, but it was very well done. I also really like Farmer Jim too, so I'm glad you mentioned him.
Yeah, dude, that cardboard cutout. It was so fucking funny, especially when you're not expecting it. It just was like, what the fuck is going on here?
And then the AI turned.
Yeah, it was like,
awesome.
So it's peak. He actually is so funny.
It was so good.
It's a shockingly well written movie, I think, for the tone. I mean, for the theme of the movie or whatever. Looney Tunes.
I agree. I really liked it. And then aside from that, I have been I'm trying to watch The Simpsons the whole way through, and I'm still on the first episode. But I'm first season. I'm not on the first episode. I've watched multiple episodes within a week.
Helper, no. I can't get through it.
Dude, I know. Yeah, but I've been doing that. But aside from that, I haven't been doing too much. I just set up the Switch again. So that has been unboxed and set up. And it's the pizza roll story for the people on the podcast. That is what led to that. So I can play Hollow Knight again. Yeah, that was a real backfire. But, it is what it is. But yeah, still chugging along, still studying for the CPA and all of that. But
stop.
Yeah, I think that's. Oh, I'm caught up on Modolo. I'm caught up on. Well, actually, I might not be because I think new episodes drop in like 20 minutes, or a new chapters drop in like 20 minutes. So aside from the ones that are about to drop at the time of this recording, I'll be caught up. And I read like a fourth of a chapter of Kagurabachi while I was at Light Up Night yesterday.
Let's go.
Yeah. But
when were you at Light Up Night?
Literally from 11 to 11. I was there the whole day. Were you there and I missed you?
Like in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Where in Pittsburgh?
I was legitimately all through.
You didn't see like a squad of 10, 12 people. I could have said 6 or 7 guys. 10, 12 people on rollerblades.
Yes, you objectively could have said that. City.
You didn't see.
I only saw a couple people skateboarding.
That's crazy. Bro, imagine we saw each other. I was part of that group. Mike and I would
have texted you because we had like a big group, but like Lily's family got like a hotel down there, so they stayed there. I drove me, Lily, and her friend Bree back, and then so we I got home at like 11 something.
Yeah,
and then I can't believe you were there. Because I would have texted you. You could have pulled up. You could have.
I want to talk about this, but should we end the podcast? This is probably something after podcast talk.
Sure. I mean, if you want it on the podcast, you can have it on the podcast. I honestly don't care.
We don't care then. Yeah. I just want to know, were you there for the fireworks?
Yeah.
Were you on the bridge?
No, I was by the hotel. I was like close to the bridge.
Okay. We were just on the bridge at that point. And where like the vendors were, like all those tents and stuff, like where the stage was, that's kind of close to where we were. Man, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
We were there twice. We went around the point eventually, and then went to like Akershire and then back. Oh, that's crazy. We were 2 boats past the night, bro.
We actually did. But it was actually like
Such a
a
good
lot of fun. That was like my
phrase,
first like light up night I went to. My least favorite part was honestly the fireworks. I didn't really care. I don't really care for fireworks
Dude,
that
the
much.
fireworks were so cool. Disney's got nothing on these fireworks, bro. I'm telling you, they are some of the best fireworks I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but I don't really care for fireworks all that
That's
much.
fair. That's fair. Like,
Yeah, I feel like you see them once, you kind of get the gist.
I agree. Fireworks are, yeah, it's as a kid they're mesmerizing, but then it's just the same gunpowder lights. But the show was
look good.
spectacular. Oh
They
my
did
god,
look really good.
They used fireworks I have never seen before.
There was like on the part where I was at, because I was like real close to the hotel that they were staying in. There was like this one guy playing music, like right above, underneath like a little like hanging thing, and it was like later in the night because this was like right after the fireworks, and he was like singing songs, and legitimately there was maybe like a group of like 70 people just all around like singing and dancing with him, and I was kind of like it wasn't like a circle, but it was like a half circle, and I was like kind of like in this center part here just kind of watching it. And I got to see like Lily's family and her friends, and then her friend's family just like dancing to this one guy. And just for reference, they have like Lily's stepdad Joe has this stepson who's like he's 19, but he's like big, like he's like I think he's like 6'3", and he goes to the gym all the time, so he's like really muscular too. Dude was breaking it down. It was the best. I cannot believe he can move like that. It was crazy. Dude was going just like, the guy's name was Isaiah Smalls or something. He was going insane. He took like a couple videos. Somebody else went up to him, gave him her phone, and he was like videoing like his like view and then like singing to the phone. It was pretty cool. But yeah, it was good. It was a good time. That was probably like insane. Cool. But I was so tired at that point. I wanted to go home.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because like I woke up like early that morning, and then I went to bed like later than I thought. So I'm surprised I'm not like a zombie this morning. But
that is crazy.
Yeah, but that was my first ever light up night, and it was pretty enjoyable. Mm-hmm. I really was disappointed in the Christmas markets, to be 100% honest.
Oh, did you go to that?
Yeah, I went to all of them. Yeah,
they were really like the one near the conventions, like it used to be in Market Square. It's not there right now.
Okay, yeah, it was not there. Right. It was like vaguely close to, like, the hotel they got was actually in the center of everything. So it was like close to that, and we walked through like all of them, and it was just like a ton of like handmade and glass ornaments. Dude, there was a couple penguin ones, but they were just so expensive. It was like $15 for like a small one, and I was like, I don't want to spend like that much just for like I really wanted the penguin because I really like penguins, and they had like a Scooby-Doo one, but the Scooby-Doo looked bad. I'm gonna be just like plain out honest. The only one that kind of looked good was the creeper from Scooby-Doo, not the Minecraft creeper, not that creeper. Sorry. But like he looked good, but again, it was like 15 something bucks, so I didn't want to spend that. So they were all kind of crazy. Like if it was like half the price, I probably would have gotten like one or two. But Ellie got like a little pierogi that was holding a mushroom. It was pretty adorable looking. Ew. It was handmade. Cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, but yeah, yesterday was my big day.
This guy's big day out.
Oh yeah, I know. Everybody else was drinking. I was a sober citizen. It's pretty chill.
Let's go.
Yeah.
The driver.
Well, yeah, basically. And like I just didn't feel like drinking, so I just didn't.
Also valid.
Yeah. But if you stuck around this long, we appreciate it. We're still trying to hit the goal of 1,000 subscribers by Christmas. Anything you do, whether it's sharing, liking, commenting, greatly appreciated. Again, you don't have to. But what is the movie next week? Actually,
we don't have a movie next week, so I am not going to announce everything that will be coming with next week for two reasons: one, for hype, and two, in case it falls through. But I will say that next week is not a movie. In December, if you are new to the podcast, which you most likely are, we do tier lists in December. So we do two random fun ones, and then we do ranking all the movies that came out in 2025 and ranking all the things that we reviewed in 2025. But next week, we're going to be tier listing all of the Marvel Rivals characters. Oh, it just died at the very end of the podcast. That's fun. But yeah, so there's 44 characters for us to argue through and go through. So if you're interested in watching that, that's probably going to be the entire episode next week. I'm pretty excited for that. Me and Skylar get pretty argumentative on these ones, so that they're pretty funny.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm
especially
really excited.
If like the condition does happen, like it might be a long recording. Yeah, me and Zach are. Sometimes we sometimes
we can be pretty annoying sometimes in a good way. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. Also the ranking, I intend for all of us to have a different ranking level I'm ranking the Marvel Rivals characters based on how much I like their comic book counterparts. I want everyone to have a different interpretation so that we can argue
that's
more.
Dumb. What are you talking
I know,
about?
but that's funny. I'll be like, that's an S tier,
and then on a different interpretation of the character.
Hey, we're just ranking the characters. I never said what we're ranking them on. We could all have completely different ones.
Come to any agreement at that
That's the funny part about it, Chandler. That's the best part about tier list December. God. It's my favorite.
Right, before we wrap up, I want to say that the one guy did post the video. And that was like the group that he had, just like outside, just like kind of going around.
That's pretty sick. Where are you at, Skylar? Where are you at?
Dude, I'm actually probably like, you can definitely see me. Oh, like right here. He's in like the tan jacket, like back over here.
I'm saying that was brother.
Their stepbrother.
Oh,
I know that was the stepbrother breaking it down. Like, so I'm like very close by. Right here, and then Lily.
I can see. I think I can see you. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's wild. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, it was a good time.
That's awesome. All right. Any other quarrels out before I finish up this episode here?
No. Oh, maybe one. If you get annoyed at me and Zach next week, just feel free to mute whenever we talk.
Keep watching the video though. You have to finish it.
Yeah.
You have to finish it.
You want to listen to these two. They're the money makers here.
I think I'm gonna be just as annoying. Like I don't think I'm gonna help if I'm being honest.
Listen to Chandler.
Listen to Chandler. And possibly another guest that we might have too. Possibly.
Oh yes. Right.
I guess we'll see next week.
Oh, that's gonna be exciting. Yeah.
I know. I'm quite excited for next week. I think it's gonna be one of our best episodes. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you guys when we go ahead and jump into our tier list. Oh wait, explanation. The reason why we're doing tier list December 1 week early is because sometime in December we have to do 5 Nights at Freddy's. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.
I have a great time.